Welcome to this talk dedicated to the upcoming Mercury Cazimi. The Cazimi is exact on Friday, May 30th, and it brings up the empowered Mercury as Mercury aligns with the sun, sparking major breakthroughs and insights. You can expect good news, light bulb moments, and sharp mental clarity. In this live, I'm going to break down the upcoming transit and take it through the 12 zodiac signs, telling you what you can expect. So if you're joining me live, welcome. If you're watching the replay, welcome as well. I'm just going to make sure I pull up notepad so I can take notes in terms of the timestamps for you guys. And let me know if you're watching live. Let me know where you're watching from. That is always a lot of fun. What your rising sign is, that's also kind of fun to know. I hope the audio is working well. I hope you can hear me okay. So we're talking about Mercury Cazimi. First things first, I am a traditional Western astrologer. I specialize in natal, relationship, predictive astrology. I also work with astrocartography, horary readings, and electional astrology, choosing perfect dates for your important events. You can find all of my reading options on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. On there, you can also find my creations, such as my candles and oils. Today, we're talking about the empowered Mercury in Gemini. I actually have a Mercury in Gemini candle, which can be great if you're enjoying the mental clarity that Mercury in Gemini is bringing your way. Bangalore Tarot Lounge is watching from Bangalore, India. How exciting. Okay, I am going to share my screen with you. So we are looking at the chart. I do need to eventually get a web camera because normally I don't film with my computer, and I think it looks very sort of blurry, the quality of this video, I guess. Okay. So we are looking at the transit chart. So before we talk about it, let me see. Am I forgetting something? I'm also teaching an astrology course, which you probably know. So all of that is on my website. What is Mercury Cazimi? Mercury Cazimi is the moment the sun and Mercury come together in the perfect exact conjunction. So if you look at this chart, you see Mercury is at 9 degrees 1 minute Gemini, and the sun is at 9 degrees 1 minute Gemini. This is considered Cazimi, and it starts to build when Mercury is approximately within 15 or 16 minutes from the sun. So in this position, you would look at Mercury at 8 degrees 46 minutes, and the sun being at 9 degree 01, it's already considered Cazimi. Normally, as the planet approaches the sun, it is considered combust. So when Mercury is, let's say right now, right? If we were to move this to today and put May 28th, so then we're seeing that Mercury is at 4 degrees and the sun is at 7 degrees. So Mercury is within close proximity to the sun, but it's overpowered by the rays of the sun. So Mercury being the planet of the mind, intellect, transportation, communication, when it's combust, it is under control of the sun. Mercury is in its home sign of Gemini, so it is protected. It is what we call in its own chariot. So it does have a saving grace when it comes to being protected, but it's still combust. So let's say if this was a person's chart, right? And Mercury ruled. Well, I'm going to move this a little bit to give you a better example. Okay. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's say this was the person's chart and we had Mercury combust. By the way, can you see the mouse moving? Do you guys see what I'm showing? But in this chart, Mercury rules the house of social media, the house of friendships and allies. And it's a strong and empowered Mercury, which can bless the person with powerful allies and friendships. But because it's Mercury that's combust, it may potentially hide the person from being really famous. So it can suggest that they have good and solid friends because Mercury is in rulership, but because it's combust, it's not sort of, it's not people that are, I guess fame might be harder to come by. Okay, so again, Mercury Cazimi is something we get when Mercury is approximately 15, 16 minutes from the sun. There are different definitions. Some astrologers look at Mercury Cazimi and say that it begins when Mercury and the sun are approximately 1 degrees apart. I look at it as more specific, 15 minutes. And what does Mercury Cazimi mean? Mercury is the planet of the mind. It is the planet of communication, transportation, commerce. And the sun, when it comes together with Mercury, it empowers it. Cazimi is this kind of midpoint in the combustion cycle where the planet was weak because it was combusted and burned up by the sun. And then it comes together with the sun. It sort of consults with the sun. It gets infused with the energy of the sun. And so it's considered very strong. So if somebody's born on Mercury Cazimi, they will be blessed with extra powerful mind and extra powerful mental abilities. You can expect mental alertness, clarity to your mind. You can expect to be very sort of lit up mentally and intellectually. Your conversations are likely to be empowered around this time, and conversations may be extra insightful, right? So talking to someone, sending a message to someone, it's a really great time to email people and ask them for favors. So it is exact on May 30th at 12:12 a.m. Eastern time, but it begins to build, like I said, when it's approximately 7 hours before. Is it 7 or 5? I think it's probably 5 hours before. So we start to feel the Cazimi on May 29th, and this is all Eastern time, so definitely adjust it for your local time zone. So it begins to build at approximately 7 p.m. on May 29th, and then it goes exact at 12:12 a.m. on May 30th. And then we have another approximately 5 hours when it's still active, right? So until approximately 5:30 in the morning. So you have a window between 7 p.m. Eastern, May 29th, and 5 a.m. Eastern, May 30th, which is really good for sending emails, asking people for favors, making plans. It's a really good transit for making travel arrangements, right? If you were to book a trip at this time. Sorry, I'm a little congested, allergies. So making travel plans, buying a ticket, scheduling all of your sort of arrangements. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you enjoy my work and you want to say thank you, I believe there is like a dollar sign that can suggest that you can tip me and say thank you that way. I would really appreciate that, but no pressure. And thank you, Bangalore Tarot Lounge, for saying that you're a fan and appreciating all that I do. I appreciate you as well. So, okay. So sending emails, asking for favors, making plans, thinking about the future, starting intellectual projects, right? This could be a really great time for launching your website or making your business official. I know it's happening, at least for us, Eastern time zone in the middle of the night, but if you let's say you maybe file a document at 9 or even 8 p.m. in the evening on May 29th, that will still be considered. This can also be a powerful time for buying things or selling things. So making sales, listing something that is important to you, putting it online for sale, negotiating, socializing, networking, meeting people. We will break it down for all 12 rising signs, so you will listen at what specifically this means for you. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Yasmin is watching from the Netherlands. You're Sagittarius rising. That's exciting for you. It's all about the relationships, partnerships, contracts, and agreements. Yeah, you guys who are watching, let me know where you're watching from and what your rising sign is, because it's kind of fun to know. So let's take this through the 12 zodiac signs. If any of you are looking for personal guidance, it is a very transitional year, right? We just had Neptune and Saturn enter Aries. Uranus is about to go into Gemini. Jupiter is about to enter Cancer. So there are a lot of changes for cardinal and mutable signs with Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn are our cardinal signs, and mutable are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, especially for those zodiac signs. There's a lot going on. So if you ever looking for personal insight, book a reading at Anastasia.astrology.com. So Mercury Cazimi for the 12 signs. I recommend listening to your rising because the horoscopes are usually written by placing your ascendant at the front of the chart and then counting the transits from there. So rising sign horoscopes tend to be more accurate. But if you don't know your rising sign, listen to your sun sign, which is what most of us know, because the sun sign is something you can even type in Google, be like May 20th, sun sign. It will tell you where, it will tell you what it is. Candace is watching from Texas, Libra rising. That's exciting. A fellow Libra rising. Bangalore Tarot Lounge, what is your rising sign? So rising sign horoscopes are the most accurate. Let me just take a note of our time and start doing the horoscopes. Okay, so for Aries rising, the Cazimi is happening in the third house. Third house is on many levels very mercurial. It is the house of communication. It is the house of short trips, siblings, neighbors, scheduling. You can think of the third house as your stomping ground. It's the places you go, people you see, conversations you have every day. So, what does it mean when you have Mercury Cazimi in your third house? For sure, the similar things for everyone else. Empowered mind. There may be a short trip coming up for Aries risings, maybe some kind of opportunity to travel or to speak in public. This could be a really great transit for speaking in public. Third house deals with education, usually more applied education. So, taking exams, maybe making, teaching a lesson, dealing with business negotiations, any kind of communication can prosper at this time, and any kind of dealings with people that are very close to you. So, neighbors, maybe negotiating something with a neighbor, maybe starting a project with a sibling, maybe negotiating a contract for a local space. If you're thinking of teaching yoga, for example, it could bring more clarity and chances to grow, teach, inspire others. And just a really good time, I think, to send any kind of messages that you're hoping to send and get the news or journal, meditate, set intentions on what you'd like to work on. We have Sunshine watching from Montana, USA, Leo rising. Manelli from Norway, Cancer rising. Bangalore is a Taurus. Okay. Okay. So no Aries risings, or is Aries rising lurking quietly in the background? Okay. So this is my take on Aries rising. Let's move on to Taurus rising. So for the lovely Taurus rising, Mercury Cazimi is happening in the second house, which is the house of money and values. Second house carries within it a lot of things that are not just financial, but it represents things that we hold dear and things that we may prioritize and sort of, say that they're important to us. So for some people, it could be about knowledge. For others, it could be about money. For others, it could be about their family or their degrees. This is very, very personal. So if we are thinking about the second house as money, Mercury Cazimi can bring you new ideas when it comes to money making. It could bring new conversations that involve money making. Maybe you're reaching out to your financial advisor. Maybe you're finding a new property to invest into. If you're one of those people who invests in real estate, good for you. Um, but yeah, it could be like anything from an idea of making a purchase, maybe with a coupon that you found, to finding a property you want to invest into. So it could bring a lot of insights, new ideas, and maybe even conversations, people reaching out and helping you make investments, helping you find some kind of clarity. Mercury is very savvy and very intelligent. So I think using your mind, using your knowledge to make money. So maybe figuring out some kind of solutions for your problems, or again, maybe making sales, maybe listing things that you want to make money on. As far as this is connected to things of value, this can also be an important period in which you maybe realize what is important to you. You may notice yourself having conversations with people in your life about your priorities, your boundaries, your kind of things you really care about. Yarian says, my husband is an Aries rising. So you're listening for him. If you guys enjoy what I'm putting out, you can always say thank you by buying me a tea, a coffee. There is a little dollar sign to show your support. No pressure, but I do appreciate that. So this is it, I think, for Taurus rising. If you are a Taurus rising and you are working on some kind of financial situation idea, do let me know. And next, we are going to look at Gemini rising. So if you are a Gemini rising, this is really exciting. You tend to embody transits in the first house. They tend to be very personal and connected to your health, identity, body image, your personality, and how you answer the question of who are you in the world. So here we have the planet of the mind come together with the sun, which is the planet of identity. And this reads as insights about your self-worth, insights about who you are, new ideas potentially that may involve speaking, that may involve starting a business, that may involve maybe teaching other people or sharing your knowledge somehow. There may be around this time conversations that are connected to your identity and your sense of self, right? Mercury in the first house tends to be really good for knowing who you are, speaking up for yourself, standing up for yourself. Mercury rules your house of home and family. It rules your house of identity. The sun rules your house of communication and siblings. So it can also suggest that maybe you're realizing where you want to be in the world. Plans that involve your health, maybe some kind of realization that you need to change your diet and start eating better, start taking better care of yourself. Style changes, but Mercury very much involves the mind. So I feel like it could be more connected to your ideas of yourself, and maybe, yeah, maybe a spark of an idea that leads you on a new journey. And there was something else I was thinking about, but it just escaped me. I like this one. I really like Mercury Cazimi in the first house. I think it's an empowered speech. So anything you want to talk about, anything you want to share is blessed on many levels right now. Do we have any Gemini risings with us? I don't think any of you have mentioned that you are a Gemini rising, but if you are, let me know. I am just taking in timestamps. Okay. Next on the list is Cancer rising. So I think there was a Cancer rising here for sure. Manelli is a Cancer rising. So do share what you think about this. So for Cancer rising, Mercury Cazimi is happening in the 12th house. So it's illuminating your private sector. 12th house is our hidden self-defeating tendencies, it's our blind spots, it's both our strengths that we maybe are not aware of, as well as our weaknesses that we need to examine and release. So this is, I think, on many levels going to be just that, right? Realizing what doesn't serve you, having a moment of illumination connected to your mental health. Something as small as scrolling on your phone for too long in the evening and then not sleeping really well and making adjustments to that, to something as big as realizing that maybe you need to work on your health better. Maybe you're drinking a little bit too much, or you're, I don't know, you're involved in a difficult, toxic romantic situation. So, opportunities to clear and release, insights that come through therapy, insights that come through meditation, through travel, through being at a yoga retreat or an ashram and doing some kind of silent meditation, potentially. Insights that for sure bring clarity. And then 12th house could also bring blind spots in terms of your passions. So Mercury Cazimi here can highlight that perhaps you have some kind of interest that you need to investigate and that you need to commit to. So then tapping into your imagination, tapping into your life, love for spirituality. Sign up for my course. I'm teaching an astrology course very soon. It could be a great gift for you guys, especially with Jupiter about to enter your first house. But yeah, tapping into your gifts and talents that you're maybe suppressing and being like, well, this is silly. Nobody makes money by painting houses. I don't know, people do. But imagine some kind of silly thing that people think maybe to themselves, like, oh, I'm never going to be successful that way. So it could be your opportunity to like be like, no, I'm going to write anyways, even though it's really hard to make a living by being a writer. Yahreen Morlet is a Cancer sun. Okay, that's fun. Okay. So, if you are a Cancer rising, let me know how this resonates. Are you working on something? Are you working on coming in touch with your interests maybe? Next we have Leo rising. So for Leo rising, this is activating your 11th house, which is the house of community, which is the house of friendships. It's the house of your impact on the world around you, your hopes and dreams and wishes for the future. So Mercury Cazimi comes here and it brings empowered conversations with your friends that maybe lead to a new idea, lead to a new project, a podcast, a social media page, a financial idea. Mercury rules your house of money, the sun rules your house of identity. Some kind of opportunity to speak up in public, to share your wisdom, share your knowledge, and start projects that involve your friendships, that involve connecting with people in your network, or involve sharing through social media, through some kind of social network. It could bring up new dreams. It could bring a desire to maybe become more visible, become more of a leader. And I think so, yeah, like some of the things that I mentioned, starting a podcast, starting a blog with a friend, starting a social media account, maybe doing work that heals other people and helps other people. Oh, hi, Patricia is a Sagittarius rising. That's a fun name. I like your account name. So, yeah, with Leo rising, it could be really empowering at this time to talk to your friends and to maybe even reach out to allies and ask people for advice. And maybe you may notice that your conversations with friends can be extra eye-opening, and even maybe you think you're mindlessly scrolling on social media, but it could actually be quite helpful at this time because it maybe brings you some kind of insight. So if you are a Leo rising and you're watching this, let me know how this resonates. If you're watching it later, let me know how this resonates. And if you're looking for more guidance for any of you guys, you can always get a reading on my website. So moving on to the lovely Virgo rising. Virgo is Mercury ruled, so your chart ruler being conjunct the sun, being empowered, being at the top of the chart is really positive. Here, it is all about your public life, what you're known for in the world. And it could be about your career. This is the low hanging fruit immediately. Mine goes 10th house career, right? So, insights related to your career, conversations with bosses, maybe new projects that allow you to stretch your mind, that allow you to challenge yourself and show to the world how really smart you are. And you are, right? You're a Virgo rising, you're very hardworking, you're committed to things that you're passionate about. So, conversations, projects, insights, because 10th house is not just career, it's your public life. It's again what you're known for in the world. Mercury Cazimi might suggest that you're getting a chance to become more involved, maybe with your community, with the world around you. Maybe you're being invited to join a volunteering organization, some kind of nonprofit organization where you're getting to be more in charge. Maybe you're getting a chance to speak in front of your bosses or speak in front of some kind of public, in a public type of situation, starting partnerships professionally, starting a business, working on a website, even traveling for work. All of those are possibilities. Mystic Road, how is your career going as a Virgo rising? Are you expecting anything professionally exciting on Thursday, Friday? Let us know. But I think it's all about your place in the world and how what are you aspiring towards, basically, if you are a Virgo rising. Moving on to the beautiful Libra risings. For Libra risings, Mercury Cazimi is happening in the 9th house. 9th house is the realm of education, travel, publishing, legal matters. So, insights related to that, conversations with foreign people that are illuminating, that encourage you to teach something or write something, opportunities to travel, opportunities to move, relocate, maybe go on a trip that allows you to expand your worldview. 9th house is all about adventures we go on, and it could be adventures of the mind, and it could be physical adventures. So, on one hand, for you Libra risings, this could be a chance to open yourself up to new ideas, such as learning a foreign language, such as studying astrology. Again, shameless plug, but I am teaching an astrology course, and you can sign up at anastasiadoesastrology.com. By the way, if you're enjoying this live and you want me to do more of them, you can also show your support by tapping the button next to the chat window, or I think it maybe is above the chat window. It allows you to say thank you by, buying me a tea, a coffee, some kind of present. I think it has like a $sign on it, but no pressure. I do appreciate it, as astrology is my full-time job. So your support means a lot. So, okay. So for Libra risings, good news connected to education, travel, legal matters, right? If you've been involved in some kind of legal matter, Mercury Cazimi can bring insights, maybe completion of the situation, some kind of turning point. If you've been applying for a visa, if you've been waiting for news about your passport, your documents, anything like that, this could be positive. Maybe even new projects that involve education and travel or publishing, like if you've been thinking about writing a novel, or if you've been thinking about launching some kind of merchandise or a book of some sorts, this could be great. And I've already said that, but I'll say it again. Talking to your teachers and mentors and people who are foreign can be especially eye-opening at this time. So this is my take for Libra risings. And if you are a Libra rising, do share how this resonates with you. And we'll move on to Scorpio rising. For Scorpio rising, the sun conjoins Mercury. We get Mercury Cazimi in the 8th house. And eighth house is an interesting one. It could be very healing over here because eighth house deals with karmic debts. We have karmic entanglements we have with other people, burdens and grief that we maybe carry. So Mercury Cazimi can bring insights and allow you to find more peace internally. Maybe again through therapy or through some kind of important conversation. It is also the house of shared finances and partners' money. So Mercury Cazimi can bring news about your partner's finances. Maybe they're getting a raise or they're getting an inheritance. They're getting some kind of positive, good news when it comes to their resources. If you are also someone who's been dealing with a custody battle or waiting for an inheritance or trying to get your student loans forgiven, Mercury Cazimi in the eighth house can also bring good news related to that. And yeah, sort of positive developments when it comes to finances. Eighth house is also a place of fairness and dynamics we have with other people. And fairness can connect to a lot of parts of your life, right? If you feel like your job isn't fair, Mercury Cazimi could be the time to discuss a better pay or a better work situation, maybe more time off so you can spend time with your family or with your child. It could be an opportunity to discuss things with your significant other if you feel like something is not quite fair, or with your family, or with anybody else, even with friends. Mercury rules your house of friendships, the sun rules your house of career. So some kind of significant conversations that lead to a better sense of balance, I think, internally, and maybe even bring external rewards. So if you are a Scorpio rising, do share how this resonates. Next, we have Sagittarius rising. So for those Sagittarius risings that are watching, Mercury Cazimi is highlighting your, oh, hi, Barb, a Scorpio rising. Let me know how this resonates. Do you feel like something is not quite fair in your life and can be discussed further to bring more fairness? So lovely Sagittarius risings, Mercury Cazimi is happening in your seventh house. This is all about relationships and partnerships. If you are single, right? If you're single, this could be maybe a work relationship or your relationship with your friend that feels like sometimes you're married, or your relationship with your mother, maybe some kind of important conversation that needs to happen there, or a chance for you to really clarify to yourself what you want and what you seek romantically. So being like, I'm going to set my intentions. I'm going to journal about the right person that I'm waiting for. I'm going to write down things I will accept, things I will never accept, and sticking to that list, right? As a Virgo, I will encourage you to write a list because Mercury rules your house of career. Again, conversations around career, maybe conversations around contracts, agreements, partnerships that involve career. And now for those people who are in a relationship, this might also be a moment to discuss things and reach compromise with your partner if you've been in a battle of the mind and wills. Come up with a solution, maybe discuss the future, talk about where you guys see yourselves going. Seventh house, as it rules partnerships and business, can also suggest that you're starting a business partnership with someone, or you're venturing into a partnership that will be professional, maybe will involve education, travel, maybe even writing together. So good developments when it comes to relationships, partnerships, contracts, and agreements. If you've been negotiating your lease, try to reach out to people who are in charge around Thursday, Friday, and it could bring potentially positive developments. Any kind of conversations, one-on-one, negotiating, all of that could be great at this time. And if you're a Sagittarius rising, do you see yourself negotiating anything at the end of the week? Do you think it's about your relationship? Do you think it's about your single life? What is it? What is this like reading for you? And again, if you're enjoying my content, you can say thank you by buying me a tea, a coffee, by pressing that little show your support button under the screen. And we will move on to Capricorn risings. So for the lovely Capricorn rising, Mercury Cazimi is happening in your 6th house. Okay, Dharma Songbird says Sagittarius rising in contract negotiations now. That is exciting. It's a good sign that I think the negotiations will go well and to your liking, with Mercury Cazimi happening right around the same time. So if you are a Capricorn rising, Thursday, Friday, Mercury Cazimi highlights your 6th house, which is the house of work, health, and service, also your pets. So when it comes to work, if you've been feeling like there is, again, some kind of negotiating, some kind of clearing the air that needs to happen, Mercury Cazimi can help you do that, can help you negotiate things and maybe even find more work, reach out to people you know. This is great for learning about healing, diet, exercise, implementing new diet and exercise protocols in your life. This could be great for problem solving. 6th house is the place of the grind and finding solutions to things. So, professionally, health wise, helping other people, your mind is empowered. I think you're very much good at structuring, organizing, decluttering. You might actually even enjoy at this time to declutter something, to create space around you physically so that you can create space in your head mentally. As far as this house rules pets as well, you may find out some good news. Let's say you've been waiting to get to adopt a dog, and you may hear that, yes, hooray, you get to adopt that dog. So it's a positive transit for any kind of like health, work, problem solving, routine, potentially oriented matters. And if you are a Capricorn rising, do share how this resonates. And if you're looking for more, book a reading at anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are an Aquarius rising, let's actually move back to May 30th. So for the lovely Aquarius risings, Mercury Cazimi is highlighting your 5th house of romance, pleasure, parenthood, and children. So as far as romance goes, Mercury Cazimi could be the news, could be the message that you've been waiting for, some type of compliment or a text from the person you have a crush on, an opportunity to go out, maybe a party you're going to that you're going to see them at. If you're in a relationship, Mercury Cazimi could bring maybe a conversation about the future, a conversation about the plans you have, conversations about children. It could on some level even be a conception of a child, because Mercury and the sun are coming together. Mercury rules your house of children, the sun rules your house of relationships. So pregnancy may occur at this time, and maybe a creative pregnancy, right? Because 5th house is the house of pleasure. So it also includes your hobbies. So if you like hiking, 5th house maybe rules hiking. Or if you like gambling, it may involve gambling. If you like swimming, 5th house may involve swimming. So insights and ideas, kind of more clarity about what brings you joy and what you want, and then an opportunity to maybe commit to it. For those people who are maybe like a competitive, creative people, like a competitive dancer, let's say, Mercury Cazimi could be a chance to go out there, dance the night away, and get recognition for your talent. Yeah, and I think if you are in a relationship, Mercury Cazimi could be a chance to maybe talk things out and make a relationship more official, bring a relationship to the next level potentially. If you are an Aquarius rising, do share how this resonates. And if you're looking for more, as always, book a reading on my website. And thank you again to everyone who is watching live. If you guys have a desire to book a reading with me, you know where to find me. If you want to study with me, same things. And if you want to say thank you for the content that I create, you can always buy me a tea, a coffee by pressing that little $ and sending me a tip, a token of appreciation. So for the lovely Pisces rising, Let me put this timestamp in. If you are a Pisces rising, Mercury Cazimi is highlighting your fourth house of home, family, and living situation. Positive new beginnings in the home and family. If we're talking about the home and living situation, what could this be? This could be a good news, right? If you're waiting to move, if you're waiting to find a place, you maybe hear back from the apartment that you've applied and you get to move in there. Or maybe there is some kind of change to your existing property, that you can add a pool in, or you can create a home office space, some type of expansion, some type of like opportunity to maybe enjoy your living situation more. Mercury is a planet of the mind. So it can also be some kind of upgrade to your home that is of an intellectual nature, right? Like you're buying a computer for your home office, or you're buying a standing desk for your home, or even buying like a standing desk potentially for your office, but just something that brings more comfort and security into your life. If we're talking about family, Mercury Cazimi could be the time you're having important conversations with family, maybe discussing important things, maybe talking about the past, finding a sense of more connection with your family, starting a family, having a family move in with you, a family member move in with you, maybe, yeah, like starting a family, talking about getting pregnant or actually getting pregnant if that's what you're thinking about. I feel like conversations that leads to an increased sense of connection are also reading. Like I feel like this reads to me as some type of maybe clearing the air. Mercury rules your house of romance. The sun rules your house, I mean, the house of relationships and partnerships. The sun rules your house of work, health. So maybe the changes you're making are connected to spending time at home with your significant other, or moving in with your significant other, or your significant other moving in with you. And if you are single, maybe it's again some kind of positive development in the life of your family, or positive development in your living situation. So that is it for all 12 signs. Do you guys have any questions about Mercury Cazimi? You can always watch the replay for the beginning of this video, where I do talk about more general Cazimi energy. This is my first time doing a live video about a transit. I have been doing live videos for live readings for you guys every Monday or Tuesday. Yesterday was the Tuesday one. So I think it's fun to do it this way too. Also, I forgot to film it and I wanted to cover it anyways. And this is like a really fast way to do it, because I don't need to worry about converting it, uploading it, and taking a really long time. You just go and you do a live and it's on YouTube immediately. You're welcome, Candace. Again, for everyone who wants a personal reading, you can book it at anastasia.astrology.com. And if you want to capture this strong energy, I have Mercury and Gemini candles, and I also have Mercury Cazimi candles. So it could bring this energy into your life on a more kind of regular, everyday basis. And thank you for watching. Say hi if you didn't say it and you're watching the replay, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.